In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Good morning, and how are you, my dear students? I am teacher Ala, and we will start a new math period on today, April 14, 2020. Our subject for today will be about measurement. Our objectives is to know the relationship between centimeter and millimeter, measure the length in centimeters and millimeters, and finally to write centimeters and millimeters as millimeters and vice versa. Before I explain the lesson for you, we will start with this introduction. In the previous classes, you learned how to measure the length, the mass, and the capacity of objects. As a quick revision, we will take a look at each one of them and what unit we use to measure each one. The first one is the length. Length measures how long or short is an object, and we use the units centimeter and meter to measure the length. Mass tells us how heavy or light is an object. We use gram and kilogram to measure the mass. The capacity measures the amount of liquid that a container can hold. The units that is used to measure the capacity are the liter and the milliliter. Let's start with the length. We measure the length of objects using ruler. We use the centimeter and the meter units. Now, remember that each 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. Let's take examples to remember together how we find the length of an object. In the first example, you can notice that the length of the rubber equals 5 centimeter because the two ends of the rubber stands on the numbers 0 and 5. So the length equals 5. In this example, you can find that the length of the sharpener equals 1 centimeter because the two ends of the sharpener stands between 0 and 1. We measure the mass of objects using scales, and we use the kilogram and gram units to measure the mass. This is a type of scales, and this is another type of scales. Each 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Look at the first example. You can notice that the mass of the prawn equals 2 kilograms because here we have 1 kilogram and 1 kilogram altogether equal 2 kilograms. In the second example, the mass of this pumpkin, as you can read on the scale, equals 4 kilograms. So we say that the mass of the prawn is 2 kilograms and the mass of the pumpkin is 4 kilograms. In this slide, we have examples shows to us how we measure the capacity of objects. We measure the capacity of objects using 1 liter containers. We use the unit liter and milliliter to measure the capacity. Each 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliter. Look at this milk container and read its capacity. This is the number that shows the capacity of the milk. It's written here 2L. As you know, 2L means 2 liters. In the second milk container, the capacity equals 1L, and 1L means 1 liter. So we say that the capacity of the milk is 2 liters and the capacity of the other milk is 1 liter. Now look back at the sharpener picture. As you can notice here, you can see that the distance between number 0 and number 1 is divided into small lines. There are 10 equal small lines stands between the numbers 0 and 1. Each one line of these equals 1 millimeter. So we can say that each 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters or 10 mm. Because here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 millimeters. So 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Now, take a look at this screw and find out its length. You can notice that the two ends of the screw comes between number 0 and more than number 5. So we can't say that the length of the screw is only 5. The length of the screw is more than 5 centimeters. If you look again here, you will see that this small line equal 1 millimeter as we learned in the previous slide. So we can say that the length of the screw is 5 centimeters and 1 millimeter. Now, remember that 1 centimeter equal 10 millimeters. So we can write 5 centimeters as 50 millimeters. Here are between 0 and 1 we have 10 millimeters. Between 1 and 2 we have another 10. Between 2 and 3, 10 more. Between 3 and 4, 10 more. Between 4 and 5, 10 more. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 millimeters. And don't forget about this 1 millimeter. So the length of the screw altogether equal 51 millimeters. In this example, you are giving the length of this red line in millimeters. Count and find with me what is the length of this red line with millimeters. Again, each 1 centimeter equal 10 millimeters. So here we have 10, 20, 30, and we have 1, 2 millimeters. So altogether, the length of this red line will be 32 millimeters. We can also say that 32 millimeters is 30 millimeters and 2 millimeters. Because again, we have 10, 20, 30, and 2. So if 1 centimeter equal 10 millimeters, so this 30 millimeters will be equal to 3 centimeters. So we can write 32 millimeters as 30 millimeters and 2 millimeters. And again, we can write it as 3 centimeters and 2 millimeters. Now, we are going to write the previous lengths using decimals. Again, the length of the screw is 5 centimeters and 1 millimeter. The length of the red line is 3 centimeters and 2 millimeters. The length of the screw is 5 centimeters, 1 millimeter. Here is again 1 centimeter. The 1 centimeter is divided into 10 equal parts. Each one small part is 1 millimeter. So, the 1 millimeter is 1 part out of 10 parts. The fraction of the 1 millimeter is 1/10. We learned before that we can write the fraction 1/10 using decimals as 0.1. So, 5 centimeters, 1 millimeter can be written as 5 centimeter, 1/10 centimeter, or it will become 5 centimeters, 0.1 centimeters. 5 and 0.1 is 5.1. So 5 centimeters, 1 millimeter is 5 and 0.1 equal 5.1 centimeters. We can write 3 centimeters, 2 millimeters using decimals in the same way. We say that 2 millimeters equal 2/10 centimeters. And we can write 2/10 as 0.2. So 3 centimeters, 2 millimeters will become 3 centimeters, 0.2 centimeters, which equal 3.2 centimeters. We can also write the mass of objects and the capacity of containers using decimals. In another video, I will explain to you how we can write the mass and the capacity using decimals. This is the end of our math period for today. Your homework is to do page 71 in the workbook. I am waiting for you to share your answers with me on the group. I hope to see you soon. See you next time, and goodbye.